Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the class. We are doing the chapter Politics of Plant Development, and under this chapter, we have discussed about how Planning Commission come into existence, and we have also seen that how this Planning Commission used to work. We have seen that the Government of India prepares a document, and in this document there is a plan for all its income and expenditure for the next 5 years. And according to this budget of central and state government, it is divided into two parts. The first is non-plan budget and the second is plan budget. Non-plan budget means those money or those issues on which the spending is done on routine basis, है ना. routinely उस पर खर्च होते हैं every year. So these are non-plan budget, and plan budget is spent on a 5-year basis according to the priority which is fixed by the plan. So we have seen that the first 5-year plan, the document of first 5-year plan was released in December 1951, and in this first 5-year plan, the main economist was K.N. Raj, who was very much who played a key role, we can say a key role in drafting the plan, and he was of the opinion that India should hasten slowly. And why this hasten slowly? Because we wanted to bring economic development, but not at the cost of endangering, not at the cost of democracy. We wanted to bring development with democracy. It means development with equality and social justice. So this first 5-year plan, it focused on the agricultural sector of the economy, and heavy investment was done in dams and irrigation. And as we have seen that this large scale projects like Bhankhara Nangal Dam, the foundation was done during this period only. So other than this, the plan also emphasized on the need of land reform, because in our country the distribution of land was highly unequal. So land reforms, the efforts of land reforms was also done during this period. But we see that one of the basic aim of the planners was to raise the level of national income, and this level of national income could be achieved only when people saved more money than they spent, है ना. जब सेविंग ज़्यादा होगी स्पेंडिंग से, तभी नेशनल इनकम बढ़ेगा. बिकॉज जब सेविंग होगा तो फिर क्या होगा, इन्वेस्टमेंट होगा, एंड दिस इन्वेस्टमेंट विल लीड टू rise in the national level. But what we find that the basic level of spending was very low in 1950s. spending ही कम थी लोगों की. अब उसको और कम नहीं किया जा सकता था, बिकॉज स्पेंडिंग का मतलब ये हो रहा है कि जो पीपल वर नॉट स्पेंडिंग ऑन समथिंग विच वॉज नॉट रिक्वायर्ड. बिकॉज स्पेंडिंग लेवल कम होना है, इसका मतलब द पीपल वर स्पेंडिंग ओनली ऑन बेसिक items mostly. So it was not possible to reduce it anymore. So the planners were of the opinion कि savings should be raised, है ना. So but it was also difficult to raise or to push up the saving was also difficult, because the total capital stock in the country was low compared to the total number of employable people, है ना. तो जब टोटल कैपिटल स्टॉक जो है वो टोटल नंबर ऑफ एम्प्लॉयबल पीपल से कम है उसके कंपैरिजन में, तो ऐसे में सेविंग्स को भी बढ़ाना बहुत ही मुश्किल था। और इसीलिए हम देखते हैं कि जो प्लान डेवलपमेंट होता है उसके फर्स्ट फेज़ में लोगों की सेविंग नहीं बढ़ पाती है, और ये बढ़ते बढ़ते थर्ड 5 ईयर प्लान तक जाकर के टू सम एक्सटेंट ये बढ़ती है। लेकिन ये राइज उतना बढ़िया नहीं था फर्स्ट प्लान में, तो बिल्कुल भी जितना सोचा गया था अकॉर्डिंग टू एक्सपेक्टेशन इट वाज नॉट। एंड बाद में 1960 से अर्ली 1970 तक जो सेविंग्स है उसमें फिर से कमी आती है। तो दैट इज़ वी कैन सी दीज आर द वीकनेसेस ऑफ फर्स्ट 5 ईयर प्लान। अचीवमेंट तो हमने देखा कि एग्रीकल्चरल सेक्टर में स्पेंडिंग की जा रही है, लार्ज स्केल इन्वेस्टमेंट हो रहा है, डैम्स के जो प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं इरिगेशन के पर्पज से हो रहा है, लैंड रिफॉर्म्स भी लाए गए। दीज आर द अचीवमेंट्स, बट द वीकनेसेस आर दिस दैट the saving cannot be rose, and the level of saving cannot pushed up, and the spending was also low, and it cannot be reduced anymore. So these were the problems which were associated with the first 5 year plan. And now we see about the second 5 year plan. This second 5 year plan, the main stress of this plan was on industrialization, on heavy industries, and it was drafted by a team of economists were there, and the leader was P.C. Mahalanobis. Okay, so in the leadership of P.C. Mahalanobis, this second 5 year plan was drafted. Okay, P.C. started in 1956. ओके तो इस तरह से सेकेंड 5 ईयर प्लान जो है इसका जो अगर फर्स्ट प्लान में हमने देखा, फर्स्ट प्लान का मेन जो सबसे इम्पॉर्टेंट थीम था दैट वाज हैस्टन स्लोली, बट नाउ द सेकेंड प्लान, in second plan we see that there was desire, there was decisions regarding quick structural transformation, है ना, जितना जल्दी जितना तेज़ी से चेंजेस ला सके। और इस प्लान के फाइनलाइज होने के पहले ही कांग्रेस held its meeting at Awadi, which is near Madras city. Awadi में कांग्रेस का सेशन होता है, that is very important, कांग्रेस सेशन of Awadi. It happened in 1956 only, है ना। और इस अवार्डी सेशन में कांग्रेस के क्या डिक्लेयर किया जाता है कि जो कांग्रेस पार्टी है और उसका जो एम है वो क्या है, सोशलिस्ट पैटर्न ऑफ सोसाइटी। तो सोशलिस्ट पैटर्न ऑफ सोसाइटी का मतलब है सोशलिज्म थ्रू द पाथ ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी। द डेस्टिनेशन इज socialism but the path is democracy. So this socialistic pattern of society was declared as the goal of the Congress party, and as Congress was ruling at that time, so that was the goal of the government as well. And this was reflected in the second plan. The government imposed substantial tariffs on imports पे टैरिफ, वी हैव रेड इट सो मैनी टाइम्स। कई बार मैंने बताया है कि जब भी हमारी इंडस्ट्रीज़ जो कि बिल्कुल इन्फेंट पोजीशन में थे, इन्फेंसी में थे, उस समय हमारी गवर्नमेंट ने यही प्रोटेक्शन की पॉलिसी अडॉप्ट की थी, दैट इज़ सोशलिज्म, है ना, टू प्रोटेक्ट द इंडिजिनस इंडस्ट्रीज फ्रॉम द कॉम्पिटिशन, एंड फॉर दैट पर्पस ओनली दिस टैरिफ वॉज रेज्ड। तो according to this goal of socialist pattern of society, this tariffs were raised so that our public and private sector industries could get protected environment. And during this period we see that saving and investment were growing, and so many industries like electricity, railways, steel, machinery, and communication developed in the public sector. And this was a really good beginning for the industrialization of the country. But some problems were also there. The first problem was technological backwardness of our country, because we were lagging behind in technology, so we have to import technology. We have to purchase technology from the global market, and in order to purchase technology we have to spend foreign exchange. That was really difficult for a country, a poor country, but we have to do this. And we have also seen that some other problems also occurred, like industry always attract more investment than agriculture, because return आपको ज़्यादा मिलता है. If you invest in agriculture and if the same amount is invested in industry, then the return will be higher in the industry than in the agriculture. So what happened that there was more investment in industry, and this raised the possibility of food shortage, because agricultural production में कमी आई, and it became really difficult for the planners to balance agriculture and industry. And the same condition was prevailing in the third 5-year plan also. In third plan was also more or less same as the second 5-year plans. And we see that the critics pointed out that the plan and strategies from this time around displayed an unmistakable urban bias. In these plans, from the second plan onwards, there was urban bias urban bias in the planning. Whatever planning was done, that was for the benefit of the urban areas. It was the criticism, it was the opinion of the critics, and there were many others who were of the opinion that the industry should not be given so much priority over agriculture. But there were also some people who were of the opinion that there should be focus on the agriculture related industries rather than heavy industries. So these were the different opinions, because our country is a agricultural country. So when more focus was given on industry, is raised so many controversies. So the key controversy involve agriculture versus industry. So we will now discuss about the key controversy which were raised during the early periods of planning, that is the first 3 5-year plans. During these first 3 5-year plans, what controversy arose? So the first controversy was about agriculture versus industry. So what we find that this it was a very big controversy, because in the first 5-year plan we have seen that agriculture was given priority, but in the second 5-year plan the emphasis was on industry. And this emphasis on industry, it was the opinion of many leaders and people that this focus will cause agriculture and rural India to suffer. Like we see Gandhian economist was there, like G.C. Kumarappa. G.C. Kumarappa was of the opinion that there should be more emphasis on rural industrialization not on heavy industrial industries, but our focus should be on the rural industrialization, establishment of rice mill and such small scale industries. They will beneficial in the development of the agriculture as well as the rural areas. In the similar way, we see that Chaudhry Charan Singh, who was a Congress leader, he was also of the opinion that the agriculture should be at the center of planning for India. And he said that the planning was leading to creation of prosperity in urban and industrial section at the expense of the farmers and rural population. So the planning was done in such a way that it is causing a gap between the urban areas and rural areas on the one hand, and between the industrialist and the farmers on the other hand. So these are the people who were of the opinion that undue importance is being given to industries, and because of this agriculture is suffering. But there were many others who were of the opinion that if there is drastic increase in industrial production, it could lead to end of poverty. The cycle of poverty can only be ended by this drastic increase in industrial production. And they were of the opinion that during the first 3 5-year plans, there was no negligence of the agricultural sector. And they were of the opinion that the state made laws for so many land reforms which were aimed at increasing the agricultural productivity. So there was also laws for distribution of resources among the poor in villages, but there was problem in implementation. We will read about this also, how there was problem in implementation, but the intention of the government was not bad. Government made laws for land reforms and distribution of resources. Not only this, government also proposed programs of community development, and it spent a large sum on irrigation projects also. So the failure was not of the government. The government did its work, but the problem was with the non-implementation of the decisions of the government, of the laws of the government. So they argue that even if the government had spent more money on agriculture, it would not have solved the massive problem of rural poverty, because only by spending money nothing can be done. मनी तो स्पेंड किया जा रहा था, लेकिन इम्प्लीमेंटेशन नहीं हो रहा था. तो उससे इट विल बी बेटर टू इन्वेस्ट इन industry, and higher growth rate in industry will lead to the elevation of poverty as well. Okay, so this was the controversy, and now we will see the second controversy. The second controversy is about public and private sector. पब्लिक एंड प्राइवेट सेक्टर, जैसे कि we have I told you that we have adopted mixed economy, neither communist nor capitalist, but instead we adopted a midway, and in this way we find that elements from both the models were taken and mixed together, and this is why it is called mixed economy. And we see that much of the agricultural, trade and industry were left in private hands, and the state controlled heavy industries, key industries. The state provided industrial infrastructure, the state regulated trade, and the state also made some crucial investment in agriculture. So it was participation of both the private individuals and the government. So this mixed model of economy which was adopted by our leaders, actually we find that it was open to criticism from both the sides, लेफ्ट और राइट दोनों ही उसको क्रिटिसाइज करते थे. लेफ्टिस्ट वो होते हैं जो चाहते हैं कि देयर शुड बी कंट्रोल ऑफ द इकोनॉमी शुड बी रेगुलेटेड बाय द गवर्नमेंट so that the interest of the poor can be protected, and rightists are those who are of the opinion that economy should be free, the market should be free. So what we find, this mixed economy model was open to criticism from both the sides, left and right. We see that they were of the opinion that the planners had not provided the private sector with enough space and the stimulus to grow. This was the allegation of rightists, those who supported free economy. They were of the opinion that the private sector was not given proper space and stimulus to grow. So this enlarged public sector produced powerful vested interest. Our public sector was very powerful, and this powerful public sector, we can say, or enlarged public sector, it produced powerful vested interest, and this powerful vested interest created enough hurdles for private capital. As we have discussed about this also when we were discussing globalization, that before 1991 we have the policy of permit and license and all. So these are the regulation, these are the involvement of the state in the economic activities, and these involvement of the state many times that led to bribery and corruption. So these are criticized by the rightists who are of the opinion that the economy should be free, there should not be any kind of interference by the state. Okay, so they were of the opinion that the state is controlling more things than were necessary, and this led to inefficiency and corruption. स्टेट के इन्वॉल्वमेंट से इनएफिशिएंसी और करप्शन का आना बिल्कुल नेचुरल है. करप्शन तो आएगी ही, बिकॉज कोई भी काम आपको करना है आपको स्टेट से परमिशन लेना होगा, एंड इन ऑर्डर टू गेट दैट परमिशन यू विल ब्राइब द ऑफिशियल्स ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट. सो दिस इज करप्शन. एंड इनएफिशिएंसी तब आती है जब देयर इज़ लैक ऑफ कॉम्पिटिशन. जब हमने ट्रेड को रेगुलेट कर दिया, बाहर से सामान आ रहा है तो उस पर हम ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा टैरिफ लगा रहे हैं, तो देयर इज़ लैक ऑफ कॉम्पिटिशन. सो व्हेन देयर इज़ नो कॉम्पिटिशन इट विल लीड टू decrease in the efficiency. So it was happening, and this was the criticism of the rightist people. And now we see there were also the critics who belong to leftist ideology, and they were of the opinion that the state is not doing enough. They were of the opinion that the state did not spend any significant amount for public education and healthcare. Whatever the state is spending is not enough. The state should spend more and more for education and healthcare, है ना? And they were of the opinion, that is completely correct opinion, that the state intervened only in those areas where the private sector was not prepared to go. In remote areas, you will find that the schools, the hospitals are government owned. Why this kind of situation was prevailing? Because it's a kind of facility which is being provided to the public sector, that those areas in which you will not be able to gain profit, you don't need to go there. The government services will be there, and in this way we can say that the state helped the private sector to make profit. This was the allegation of leftist, and it was completely right. There should not be this kind of mixed participation in health and education, because we see the condition of health services and education services. What is the difference between the education condition of education and health in private and public sector? We have discussed about this in class 11th. हमारे class 11th का एक बहुत important topic था ये, है ना. तो हमने ये सब कुछ हम देख चुके हैं कि किस तरह से मार्केट जो कंट्रोल्ड इकोनॉमी होती है और जो मार्केट इकोनॉमी होती है उसमें क्या प्रॉब्लम्स आते हैं. तो दिस वाज द एलिगेशन ऑफ द लेफ्टिस्ट कि स्टेट जो है वो एक्चुअली प्राइवेट सेक्टर को हेल्प कर रहा है प्रॉफिट करने में, है ना. और पुअर सेक्शन का कोई भी इससे फ़ायदा नहीं हुआ. स्टेट इंटरवेंशन है, स्टेट इज़ रेगुलेटिंग द इकोनॉमी, बट द पुअर आर नॉट गेटिंग बेनिफिटेड, है ना. So this is the criticism of the leftist people. Okay, so these are the two major controversy: the agriculture versus industry, and public versus private. And now we see the major outcomes of these ये जो 5-year plans हुए, first 3 5-year plans, इनके major outcomes क्या थे, सबसे ज़्यादा क्या मतलब beneficial रहा, क्या हमने achieve किया, what are the achievements we can see. Achievements or major outcome. So what is the achievement? First of all, we see that during these 3 5-year plans, we can see that this phase of plan development actually laid the foundation of India's future economic growth. Foundation was laid, infrastructure were created, है ना. Largest development projects in our country were undertaken during this period, like mega dams projects like Bhankhara Nangal, Hirakud. These were multi-purpose projects. So many purposes they were serving, like for the purpose of irrigation, for the purpose of generating electricity. These mega dams projects were started during this period only. And we see that some of the heavy industries in public sector, like steel plants, oil refineries, then manufacturing units, defense production, these all were started during this period only. Then infrastructure for transport, communication, that was also improved during this period. So we can say that whatever economic growth we achieved afterwards, the foundation was laid during this period only. So this is the major outcome, we can say, of this planned development. And now the second major outcome is, the first is foundation foundation for economic development was laid. And the second outcome is land reforms. As we have discussed about it, in our country there was highly uneven distribution of land resources. We have zamindari system, है ना. So this zamindari system is that a single person is the owner of the complete land which is there in a village, or many times the zamindars were of more than one village, है ना. दो गांव के एक ही जमींदार होते थे. तो बाकी सारे लैंडलेस है, ओनली वन इज़ जमींदार देयर. तो इस तरह की जो कंडीशन प्रिवेल कर रही थी, इसको ख़त्म करने का अटेम्प्ट किया गया गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से। लैंड रिफॉर्म्स में जो चीज़ें हुई, सबसे पहले तो ज़मींदारी के एबोलिशन का एफर्ट किया गया। दूसरी चीज़ जो हुई वो था लैंड सीलिंग एक्ट। लैंड सीलिंग एक्ट की आपकी एक जो मैक्सिमम लिमिट है लैंड की वो फिक्स कर दी गई। अब इससे ज़्यादा अगर लैंड आपके पास है तो वो लैंड आपसे ले ली जाएगी एंड देन इट विल बी रीडिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड अमंग द स्मॉल एंड लैंडलेस लेबरर्स, है ना। सो इट वॉज सीलिंग जो फिक्स की गई वो पूरी कंट्री के लिए जैसी नहीं थी, ये स्टेट टू स्टेट डिफर करता था, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट का मैटर था, जिसमें कि स्टेट ने अपने लिए ये फिक्स किया था कि कितनी सीलिंग होनी चाहिए। एक और चीज़ जो इसमें किया गया वो था कंसोलिडेशन ऑफ लैंड, क्योंकि हमारे यहाँ लैंड जो होल्डिंग का साइज़ है वो बहुत ही स्मॉल होता है, और जैसे जैसे आगे जनरेशन आती जाती है होल्डिंग और भी छोटी होती जाती है। तो उसमें क्या होता है कि बिकॉज ऑफ स्मॉल साइज ऑफ होल्डिंग न्यू टेक्नोलॉजीज कैन नॉट बी यूज्ड, है ना, न्यू टूल्स, न्यू मशीनरीज कैन नॉट बी यूज। सो it is very important if you want to increase the productivity of the agriculture, the holding size of the holding should be larger. So for that purpose consolidation was also done. Okay, and we see that one more land reforms effort was done, that was security of the tenants, the laborers, the landless laborers who are not owing any piece of land and who are working on the land of some other person, like जिनकी बड़ी बड़ी ज़मीनें हैं, उनकी ज़मीन पे जो काम कर रहे हैं ऑन रेंट, दे आर कॉल्ड टेनेंट्स। तो उनकी सिक्योरिटी, उनको सिक्योर करना भी इसमें एम था हमारे लैंड रिफॉर्म्स का, कि आपको उस पर से हटाया नहीं जा सकता, एविक्ट नहीं किया जाता, सिक्योरिटी अगेंस्ट एविक्शन। बट वी विल सी, हम लोग इसको नेक्स्ट क्लास में डिस्कस करेंगे कि ये सारे जो एफर्ट्स हुए वो सक्सेसफुल नहीं हो पाए। कौन कौन से एफर्ट्स थे उसको हम लोग एक बार पॉइंट आउट कर लेंगे। लैंड रिफॉर्म्स के अंदर क्या चीज़ है, सबसे पहले अबॉलिशन ऑफ जमींदारी, देन लैंड सीलिंग, then consolidation, and last is security to the tenants। ठीक है, ये चार मेन हमारे हैं। इसके हिसाब से ही चीज़ें हुई, बट इम्प्लीमेंटेशन प्रॉपर नहीं हो पाया। So we will discuss all these in the next class.